This is the third year that the Souls Shot Project, Portraits of Victims of Gun Violence, has been on display at the Presbyterian Church of Chestnut Hill. Laura Madeline, the project's curator and director, wrote, "The artists participating in this project were randomly paired with the families and friends of victims, or in some cases, artists already had personal connections with victims. The artists set out to illuminate the lives of these victims. The varied approaches and mediums used by the artists is a fitting testament to the unique qualities of each of the souls portrayed." All these artists are very talented, but this year one happens to be among America's finest portrait painters. Garth Herrick has painted many important people, including the official City Hall portraits of Mayors John Street and Ed Rendell. But I find his painting of William Bethel IV to be particularly moving. He used a still photo plus YouTube videos to capture this young man. As I watched one of the videos, Bill smiled. Seeing his braces broke my heart. Our children are dying again and again because of the insanity of American gun culture.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, this is William.
Oh, hi, yes. By the people. Yeah. I hope it's good enough for you. Yeah.
What was your son like?
Perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, no words for it. Good, very good kid. Very smart. Athletic.
Yeah.
How old was he when he...
16.
How did it happen or what?
He was shot in the back.
I was never able to make sense of this at all.
We still can't.
Yeah.
Her and my son were best friends, absolutely. He was a real mama's boy. She always did everything for him and helped him out.
He's a sweetheart.
Really
He's a
nice.
good kid. He had the best smile, the greatest hugs, twinkle in his eye. Loved kids, loved animals.
Just had a baby girl a year before,
Really?
so he left her behind, yeah.
He would give me the dictionary and say, pick any word and I'll tell you what it means. And I would go through the dictionary and pick the longest word that I didn't really know what it meant. And he would tell me, he was really smart. You're coming with me. You're coming with me and I'm painting it. So it's very emotional at this time in my life.
Now, you have done how many of these paintings now?
5 now.
You are one of the most committed artists in this project, I would say, correct?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So what is it that...
I think it's the mothers that I meet. I didn't know what I was getting into. But the first portrait I did was from Ovita Johnson-Tate, and then Julio. And both of these women have taken me into their families and introduced me to their friends. So Angie is yet another friend of Julio's, and I did a portrait for her this time as well.
And it's still hard.
Yes, 3 years now, and it happened down the street from my house. And it's still unsolved, but we miss him.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
How old was he?
18.
Can you tell me about your son?
Christian was 28 years old. He was a young entrepreneur. He was a real estate investor. He was from South Philly, well-spoken, very nice guy. Just wanted to be his own boss.
The painting you did is really extraordinary. The guy with this little daughter.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, his family talked about how he was so proud to be a father, so thrilled to have this beautiful daughter.
Both of you guys, from talking to some of the relatives, it means the world to them to have these paintings, and I applaud you for what you've done.
Thank you. Yeah. It's our pleasure and honor, really. Wouldn't you say, Chris?
Yes.
What do you think of the painting?
Oh, it's excellent. I love it. He did a very, very great job.
This is your son?
Yes, it is. He was a very loving child, a very loving father. He was loved by the whole family. He will be missed and he will always be remembered.
Does having the painting help you?
Yes, it does. It gives me peace that someone took the time out to actually take and put all of his personality into one picture. And it's a beautiful job.
Your son looks just like you.
Yeah, he does.
It's amazing.
It's a beautiful painting.
You did a magnificent job. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I can tell how much the family appreciates it.
Well, that was what was most important to me, actually.
He would walk into a room and you see a smile. He would light the room up. He was shot and killed a few doors from our home over nonsense, a cell phone that didn't belong to him or the shooter. Senseless killing, violence in Philadelphia over nothing.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tate Lee Johnson. I'm the co-founder of the Charles Foundation. I'm Movita's second born. I am a 29-year-old black man born and raised in the city of Philadelphia. I am a husband and I'm a father to a 7-year-old Gianna and my 2-year-old in the back making a noise. So, I am also an endangered species. I did not meet my grandfather. He was shot and killed when my mother was 8 years old. My only uncle, Charles Johnson, was killed when I was only a year old. Where I grew up in Philadelphia, gun violence was all around us. My friends carried guns, and I cannot begin to count the number of boys that I personally knew that were shot and affected by the gun violence. My brother and I can't think of anything as tight as we were. This was my best friend. We were 3 years apart, but we were inseparable. My brother Charles was named after my uncle. He was my mom's only brother, was also killed. Charles Andre Johnson was my brother and my best friend. We were attached at the hip since he was born. My mom moved us out of Philly to protect us. On January 12th, I got the call that my brother had been shot. I was in disbelief. He had just dropped me off to work, and I'm the one that called my mother to tell her that my brother had been shot. When my mom called me from the hospital to tell me that my brother did not make it out of surgery alive, I felt like my heart was ripped out of my chest. My life was changed forever. My brother, my best friend, my confidant was dead. My brother that I protected his whole life was gone because they thought he was somebody else. I watched my brother's dead body for his janazah. At the cemetery, I got down into the grave and I lowered his body into the earth to return him to God. I turned his face to the east to give him his last rites, and I put the dirt on top of his body and realized that I had to leave him there, alone. Losing Charles crippled my family. His son Khalif was born 26 days after he died, and his son is now grieving. He wants to go to the graveyard to visit his dad on the weekends. We are a very tight-knit family that still hang out together just because. We always gravitate to where my mom is because she is home, no matter where she's at. It has never been the same since we lost Charles. My sister that he went to pick up suffers with depression and medication-resistant high blood pressure at 27 years old from her grief. I hear my mom crying and she thinks no one is around. Sometimes she's crying so hard she can't breathe. We look at each other in pain. It's overwhelming. Even 8 years later, 2 years after we lost Charles, my cousin Stephen Kyrie Johnson was at a New Year's party trying to be a peacemaker between two boys that were arguing over a girl. The boy pulled a gun. He shot my cousin Kyrie in the chest. He would have graduated that May from the Temple Fox School of Business. Kyrie was 24 years old when he passed. He was the only child of his mother, my mom's first cousin. He liked the craziness of the 4 kids in my mom's household, so he literally grew up with us like another brother. The sad reality is that we are not unique. My family has sacrificed and worked so that another family does not have to experience our pain. Families every day experience this devastation. It is not getting any better. It will get worse until we treat gun violence as the disease that it is. It is chronic and it is contagious. It is spreading. Many young men don't think that they're going to live to 25. I didn't think I was going to live past 21. The people that live in my community do not have access to good education, resources, opportunities, but they have guns. A deadly combination. My mother came up with the Charles acronym in my brother's memory. Our foundation, Charles, stands for Creating Healthy Alternatives to Result in Less Emotional Suffering. If this were Ebola or some deadly strain of flu, someone would have done something by now. We can stop it. My family or yours cannot afford another senseless loss. Let's create a healthy alternatives for this gun violence epidemic so that we stop the suffering. I want to thank Ms. Laura and Soul Shot. The portraits are extremely moving. Just thank you.
Often those who give up are not clear about how close they really were to winning. So let's continue to take the risk to win. Take the risk to win. And don't ever give up, because winning may only be an inch away. Thank you so much.